fellas, gentlemen, we have to take control. Now, I generally know what I want to talk about. It's kind of a lot of things. I don't want to make this too long, but I'm feeling kind of spacey in the head right now. So, it might take me a minute to, kind of catch a flow to get this message out. But ultimately, yeah, we do. We need to start taking control more so of ourselves, tuning in to ourselves. We have to. And then once doing so, we have to exhibit that acknowledgement of thyself and move in that fashion and not be, what I'm saying, at the wills and the ways of the world, man. Because I'm not gonna get into details, but just after tonight, it's really hit me in such a way that has me convinced that there's a deliberate attack on our identities for men and women. This shit's reversed. This shit's inverted. This shit's flipped. Now, this may not be an apparent thing to everybody because just your life experiences, your choices just don't allow you to even see that as a thing, As a single man in this day and age, and it's like, I guess I'm somewhat, I have an attractiveness to me that I'm noticing, and it's not something that I'm fully, I'm saying, I'm comfortable with it, but I'm not fully comfortable with it at the same time. It's like I don't have like this arrogance and such an ego to me, and always having this knowing this all the time, because I wasn't always like that. I grew up, in high school. I ain't get no play like that. Come on now, I ain't get no play like that. I got play, but not like that. But like I'm seeing at a different level, a different caliber, and that has allowed me to see so much more. It's like you're on one side of things, and then you end up being on the other side of things. It's like, oh shit, you know. And if you can relate to what I'm saying in a way, right, then there is a responsibility that you must take. There is. And not even that. Even if you're not attractive, even if you're not getting play, getting girls like that in that type of way, there's still a responsibility that you have to take. And that is acknowledgement of yourself. You have to. Because if you don't do that for yourself, there's going to be other things external of you dictating and defining who you are. Not just who you are, but just how you're going to move. What's going to be a priority in your life? What type of choices and decisions that you'll make? What type of beliefs that you fall into? Literally, I'm going to talk for, say, dudes that don't be getting girls like that, right? You have all these type of internet gurus telling you, you got to be like this. You got to prioritize this. X, Y, and Z. Da, 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 da. They're taking advantage and profiting off of your insecurities, profiting off of your lack of knowledge of thyself. That's how they make their money. That's how they're in those positions that they're in, because they recognize that, they can see that, and they profit off of that. That's what that is. I can name people. I ain't gonna name drop these people, but you know who I'm talking about. Your favorite YouTuber that you tap into for advice and ways of everything, You're supposed to take all of that stuff with like a grain of salt. You can't take 100% off of what somebody is saying. You're supposed to take just bits and pieces of that information that you see valuable based off of your reference point of yourself. But you have to know yourself first to even do that. You can't take all of that stuff. You can't straight copy and paste what these dudes is saying and just, oh, I fuck with that. Yeah, da, da, da. Oh, I see how successful he is with that. Da, da, da. And think you can just apply that to your life. You're missing a piece. You're missing the foundation. And that's knowing yourself. It is. That's the foundation. You have to do that. If you don't have that, then you're being led astray. And guess what? They know that. That's how they make their money. Tapping into your insecurities. And guess what? Most of them used to be insecure. Most of them had to take the time to understand themselves and reposition themselves and re-identify themselves as a person. And then what you're seeing is them taking that control of their own life. But what's fucked up is they're not really telling you how to actually transform your life in that type of way. They're just telling you what sounds good, what you want to hear. And like I said, tapping in with your insecurities. That's what it is. It really is. Getting back to what I'm saying, like I didn't always see myself as like, oh yeah, I can get girls, this and that, and all girls like me. That wasn't always the case. It wasn't, you know? And then so with that, and I know I'm not the only one experiencing this, with that, I can honestly admit that some of the choices and decisions that I've made is to make up for the time that I wasn't able to have the access that I have now. I'm in a way doing that. I'm making up for my younger self, past self, the one that was exposed to sex, right? To all these things, having people around you. You got, oh shit, your friends having sex that you not getting like that. They more attracted than you are in high school and stuff, or you being exposed like porn and stuff like that. Really desiring that shit, but can't really have it. I can admit in saying like I've made choices and decisions to make up for younger me that couldn't have that. You know? I feel like that's what a lot of people do. They try to make up for time lost or make up and mask these insecurities that they have. But part of that knowing of self is you acknowledging shit like that, but not basing your choices and decisions off of that shit. You know? And I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy thing to just get over. It's not an easy thing to do. You know, you gonna do what you wanna do, you gonna give in. Especially if it's being thrown at you. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hell yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, what's up? You know, let me see. Like, what's up? Like, you gonna give into it, but it's really important and vital that we acknowledge shit like that and to take control and responsibility of that. Like Spider-Man, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Seriously. Seriously. You have to. You cannot just, I don't know the word to say. You can't drown in that shit, man. You can't drown in the pussy, bro. You can't. You can't. You can't be so full of yourself. You can't just do things just because you know that you can. Doesn't mean you should do it. And most of the time, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know, now I understand it's like, and the only reason why I'm realizing this is because it's gotten to a point. It just, you know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where I'm like, damn, man, I gotta be cool, you know? Now, I know not everybody experiences that. And I don't think everybody needs to experience that to understand what I'm saying. Acknowledge it now while you can. Because it's like, it honestly is like you're not missing out on nothing. But you know, of course, you probably want to, like I said, make up for the time lost, build that up. And I'm not gonna lie, it will build up a confidence within you, you know. But when you feel that, when you get to that point where you feel that type of confidence in yourself, stop and be more intentional with what you're doing. Don't just keep doing shit just to be doing shit. Don't get greedy. Don't get gluttonous. Don't be too lustful. You have to keep that shit at bay. And those that haven't experienced, I promise you, I promise you, you're not missing out on anything. Especially nowadays. You're not missing out on shit. You're not. It's much more cooler and more valuable and more of a beautiful thing to just find you somebody, man. Find you somebody. Find you a good go-to person, or find yourself first and have such acceptance of that to where you're not trying to, like I said, make up for that time loss or to feel some type of validation or whatever, because it will get to a point where it just becomes just somewhat of an automatic thing, and that's just an endless chase. You're endlessly just kind of just doing shit for the wrong reasons, and that's dangerous, man. That's a dangerous road to go down. There's too many risks. There's too many risks at it. You could lose your life. You could catch diseases. You can make unnecessary enemies. You could lose discipline. That's one of the main things. Discipline. You become undisciplined in a way, because it's like you think like, what am I trying to say? It makes you undisciplined in a way where you start to not really have like have a standard, or have like something that you're working towards, a mission, and an actual goal. It just becomes kind of just endless and whatever. And that's bad, man. That's really bad. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really up to us. It's up to men to have control of that. You can't expect the women to do that. It's up to us. We have to be the ones to initiate and hold that standard. We are the reason why things are the way they are today when it comes to dating, and you got these men versus women wars. All the drama that you see online started from us. It started from those being too gluttonous and lustful and making up for their past selves and all that stuff, and having such this ego and bravado to them about it. That's what made the roles reverse. That's why you got these women being so hard. They acting like us. They acting like niggas. They are. They are. And it's turning the dudes to bitches. Shit's getting inverted. And I'm telling you, the way to fix that is by us initiating these standards that you have, right? Say you see a girl, right? And she's bad. She's fine as fuck, right? Like, damn. I'd love to. You know? But she got a boyfriend. She's in a relationship. She, yeah. But she going, right? Like I said, it's just not, it's not easy. But we have to have that as a standard, like, no, nah, nope, no, I'm not fucking with you. What, you're in a relationship? I'm not fucking with you. You may look, like I told you, you don't get play like that. It's gonna be hard. You be like, oh, I'm going, I'm taking that. You could be all like, man, that sucks for him. Well, shit, I mean, hey, look, these hoes is gone, man. They gone, man. They gone. All right, cool, but what does that amount to? All right, cool. Boom, you hit those. All right, boom, you hit those. Multiple times, Now what? What is the end result? What is the fruits of that? Nothing. Just perpetuating this cycle that we see today and that we complain and have a problem about. That's what it is. Because there's no standards that's being held. And we as men have to be the ones to hold that standard. If we do it, it would be changed. They wouldn't do that. Say the girl's like, she's gone for you, right? But you're like, what you what? You got a boyfriend? Oh no, watch out, get my face. Nigga, what the fuck, nigga? You want this? You don't want no pussy, nigga. Oh, you must be gay, nigga. You must. And she goes to the next nigga. What's up with you? And he's like, what? You a boy? Nah, watch out. Nah, watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. She keep getting denied, right? You're not just going for it because you just horny. You being lustful. You don't. Damn. Think about the standards. Think about the morality of the situations that's going on. Think about the cycle that is perpetuating for you going for that. She going and you going for her. That's just, bruh, that's just making shit loose, man. That's what it is. We have to hold ourselves to that. You got to be all like, yeah, nah. Or at least this. If you going to do that, at least recognize what's going on, right? And add more value to that woman that you messing with, that you know is doing wrong. Maybe her dude ain't treating her right. Maybe she bored. Maybe whatever the case may be. We bare minimum at least try to add more value to that situation if it does happen. You be the next man that holds her to such a standard that changes her mentality and perspective on things to where it's like, damn, you know what? Yeah, it's bullshit. I am bullshitting. I am on some bullshit. You build like a strong union with her if you can. You feel me? But that's not your responsibility. But like, look, at the same time, you do we have a responsibility, or we should have the responsibility, or place that responsibility upon ourselves to where we just don't allow that shit just cause. We gotta, because I'm trying to tell you, like, I see it. the this shit ain't heading nowhere good at the pacing that it's at. It's not. And here's the thing though. This is what makes it like serious, like on some like we gotta be on a mission type shit to fix this shit. Because like I said, we're deliberately being manipulated into perpetuating this type of stuff. I ain't gonna say I don't know who controls the shit, whatever, right? But they want this shit to happen, and it's happening. It's playing in their favor. This is what they want, you know. And I don't want to be a victim of that shit. Like I said, it's hard. I'm not perfect. I'm just sharing with y'all what I'm noticing in live time. I told you, I'm talking about all this stuff right now off of an experience of last night. And yeah, just look at social media, just the shows, the culture, and either in film or whatever, everything that we receive that has our attention, it's for us to do shit like that. There's nothing positive that's being promoted to us. It's all just like, yeah, it's either hookup culture. There's no they're glorifying unloyalty, glorifying crossing people, being manipulative, being sneaky. That's what's being glorified. Taking advantage of people who are on my scamming ass, nigga. Bro, bro, like for real. This is done on purpose. Why do you think shit like that's at the forefront? Why do you think shit like that is trending? Why is that shit so popular? I don't know what they want the end goal to be, but I just know it ain't nothing good. It ain't nothing truly fruitful. It don't seem like that's in the will of God. Even if you don't believe in God, that ain't in the will of your best interest. I promise you that. It's just, it's glorifying. There's a glorification of submitting to desires, to your desires, earthly desires, worldly, fleshly, carnal desires. But we have to think beyond that. It's like, what is this amounting to? What is really being gained from that? Nothing good. It's an unraveling. It's something that's just rolling down a hill till it dissipates into nothing. That's the trajectory of that. That's what's being promoted. We may not see it right now in the present moment, but in the grand scheme of things, that's what it is. Think about it. What examples were set for you growing up as a child compared to the examples that are being set for children nowadays? And you can always say, like, well, yeah, things always been crazy. Each generation is gonna say that. There's nothing new under the sun. That's a fact. But things can evolve. Evolution is a thing. Wrongdoings evolutionize. Standards evolutionize. Evolution doesn't always mean it's going up. Doesn't always mean a positive thing. Things can evolve in a decline. And with these standards that we have, which is none, slim to none, we're evolving in a decline. 100%. And I'm advocating, as a man, if you consider yourself as a man, set that tone, set that standard. Don't expect the women to do it. Don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at them. What they're doing now is a byproduct of our lack of standards. For real. It is. Somebody said in a TikTok, I'll never bring up a point and claim it as my own. I'm always gonna reference where I get an idea from or a word from somebody. I can't think of his name, but this guy on TikTok is making a video. And he talked about some of what I'm saying right now. Saying that even if you're in a relationship, right? And you notice your girl looking at somebody, glancing at another dude in a lustful way, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say you talking to her and she break her attention, she looking at this dude. And he's hella attractive, whatever. Dudes will be like, what the fuck? Not fuck with her no more, cheat on her, break up with her, all that. As a man, check that. Check your girl. Be like, what are you doing? What you looking at? Oh, you fucking with him? What are you doing? Don't just up and leave and give up. That don't mean give up on her. Come on, that don't mean just give up and get mad, getting your feelings about it. And guess what? It's not a reflection of you doing anything wrong. She doing wrong. Check her. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, you tripping? Hey, come on, we gotta go. We leaving. And that ain't no pussy shit, ain't no soft shit, ain't no insecure shit or nothing. That's you checking shit. That's just you putting shit back in order as it should be. That's what you're supposed to do. Some women, feminists, lesbians. I'm sorry. No, they're not all lesbians. Feminism is a real thing, but the ones that go way beyond what the shit actually is and just scorned, they'll be all like, "Nah, it's controlling. He's just trying to control you." Da, da, da. Ain't me trying to control you. It's setting the tone, the standards, the reason why things are they are now. Why we complain in the ways that we do about how women complain about men and how they're this, and that, and vice versa. Oh, it's the women's fault. It's because of our lack of setting the tone and the standard of things. That is why. So I'm not doing that just to be controlling this and that, whatever. I'm trying to keep this shit in order. You don't really want to do that. You're just giving into how you're feeling. As the woman, you're giving into your emotions. Most women are more emotional than men. Sure, you got emotional men, this and that, but women are more tapped in with their feelings and make their choices and decisions off of how they feel. And like I said, shit's inverted. You got a lot of men doing the same exact things. They doing that because of their ego and how shit made them feel, either from past feelings, maybe they've been wronged in the past, they got cheated on. Like I told you, they have some insecurities they didn't deal with. Like they ain't getting no play back then. Now they look better. Now they can actually they got some play and they want to take full on advantage of it. You know? Shit has to be balanced. Shit needs to be in control. You have to. We have to. We do. That's what will get things back in order. It truly will. And like I told you, keep this in mind. This stuff is being done deliberately to have us not be like that. It is. Look at your social media, bro. Man, what? I can see whatever I want. Girls that I don't even know. For one, we're too overexposed to so many people. Tricking ourselves believing that we have so many options than we actually do. So what if this girl liked your video? She commented on your post, DM'd you, right? Who the fuck is she? For one, who are these people that's DMing you, liking your pictures, your videos, comments, compliment? They're not in your vicinity. You believe what's on your phone is a part of your vicinity and your reality. That's not true. That's not true. You don't know the intentions on why they're doing that. You can gauge better on what someone's true intentions are in person. And on top of that, people change every day. People change. People can change how they feel within minutes, seconds. Shit just be in the moment. Doing what they doing, saying what they saying, just because of that moment. Or because of a moment that happened before. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm in your face. That's why I'm giving you this attention. You feel me? We have to just anchor ourselves in this knowingness of self to see these things play out, to see the value in actually making a change in what we do. We have to. We have to. I feel like I can say so much. There's so much more I want to say about this. There's so much more. But like I said, I can't gather all my thoughts completely right now. No, I could bring up something else. I might as well do it while I'm already recording. I just don't like videos being too long. But yeah, you gotta get out of that. You have to develop a frame. Like I said, if you ain't ever experienced it like that, I'm telling you, you don't have to experience that to have this knowingness. Just pay attention. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to how your insecurities are being preyed upon and profited off of. Would that make you mad? If someone's playing on you, profiting off of you? You don't feel a way about that? You don't want to do nothing about that? Or do you don't mind getting got and being fed, reinforced your desires, reinforce your ego, your self-esteem? You want to settle for that? It's just crumbs, nigga. That's just crumbs. That's shit. You're happy off of shit. You should want more for yourself. My fault. No, not my fault. Do better. But my point is saying is like that shit ain't shit, man. There's much more to it. It's much more rewarding. I lost my train of thought. My fault. No, this is what it is. But yeah, it's much more rewarding and it's better. You're doing not yourself a justice, literally the world. If you get that shit in order, and start moving at your own volition, at your own agency, making your own decisions, being very intentional with what you're doing, and knowing why you're doing what you're doing. That's being intentional. But like an example, got this from Sinful to P. He was saying, you got dudes that will literally morph their standards, go against themselves, just to have a girl, just to have this beautiful girl. She's, bro, I gotta have that. Okay, I'll do this. Go against yourself, doing shit you would never do, just to have her. Why? And that right there, that bitch ass shit, that me myself can admit that I've been guilty of. That bitch ass shit is what's fucking everything up. That's what has the roles reversed. That's what got these girls believing like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, acting like a dude. These girls acting like straight dudes. You know? Got you staying at home. Got you texting her phone, blowing her up. Hella blue messages more than gray. What are you doing? Where are you at? Hey, what the fuck? You're cheating on me. That's what the girls do. And she like, you're tripping. What are you doing? Get off my phone. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck? They inverting this shit. Shit's inverted. Pay attention. Dudes beating up dudes, killing dudes over girls because they getting around. That's what girls used to do. Girls used to pull up and fight each other over a dude. You fighting dudes over a girl? Like I said, I don't blame nobody. I mean, I do blame y'all. Blame yourself. Yeah, it's all your fault. It's our fault. So I'm saying, as men, we have to get that shit back in order. I'm not gonna expect women to do that. I hope there's women that feel me on what I'm saying too, and they can do their part. Withhold the pussy. Withhold your pussy to dudes that act like that. Give it to dudes that really deserve it. They actually got something more to themselves. Not just how they look. What else you gotta offer? Girls is doing that, but I'm gonna get some money out of them. This and that, not just character. Character. But like I said, I'm not gonna put that blame, hold women to that standard. Of course they on bullshit. Duh. Yeah, they on bullshit. As a man, you're supposed to turn the bullshit, keep it into cool shit. Literally, we supposed to set the standard and the tone for that shit. And the shit will be cool. Shit will work out in that way. Any successful marriage, relationship, that's what's going on. That's the dynamic. That's why you got some women that's all like, I don't give a fuck about what any other dude's talking about. Like, this is my man. I'm doing whatever the fuck he wants. Because he's exhibiting that. He's put himself in that position. That's what the dynamic is. That's the tone. She don't want to switch up on that shit because she know all the other shit is bullshit. She knows it. She feels it. When she's in the presence of a real man that's putting shit in control. That's what they want. But they can't tell you that. They can't ask you for that. You just gotta be that. I'm talking too much. No, I'm talking enough. Because this shit is that important, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's gotta be said. I know I'm not the only one saying it. But this is my piece on it. It's my perspective on it. We got to, bro. We have to. We have to. If not, we just setting ourselves up for failure. And the trade-off is, like I said, crumbs. Shit. The instant gratification. Yeah, nigga, I hit those. Yeah, nigga, I beat that. Yeah, I hit those. Yeah, she got a dude. Like, nigga, she over here. For what? What does that amount to? It's just for your self-esteem. It's just for that void you got. You know? It's just adding into the void, trying to fill in that void. And like I said, that void is a lack of acknowledgement of self. People prey on that, man. You know that people don't see that? You don't think some girls can see that shit and take advantage of that shit? I don't want to get too deep into that shit because it's some other shit, but I ain't gonna get into that. But keep shit practical. Best bet is for us to set that tone, set that standard, and take control of it. Don't give into it. Don't fall into it. It's not easy. I struggle myself still. You know? And you know, not just say with women and sex and everything. You can apply that with everything, bro. You should never let anything outside of you dictate what you should do. What should your next move be, your decisions. Of course, this is life. You know, we in this bitch. But so it's like some things, no matter, it's gonna have that effect. But you should always be at the forefront of it. Not let anything else be at the forefront of it. Nobody. Not even me, what I'm saying. Not even me. Speak for up to you. You. Don't place anything here above you like that. You can't. Shouldn't. The trade-off will be crumbs. Shit. You doing that. You placing shit above yourself. That's you placing value on that shit above God. Like I said, even if you don't believe, you're placing over yourself. Why are you letting this shit? Why is this shit more important than you? This is your life. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But you won't even believe that or see that. Because that value is being dispersed and all these other things. Just something to think about. All right, this be like 40 minutes long. But yeah, for real. Let's try our best to be our best.